periods. You can see that those lags are created. Network consulting engineer. So we're going to call this deploy ISL and keep alive.
We'll look at building hub and spoke topologies. Please like this video by smashing the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for viewing and have a great day.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Tori Davenport here. We're finally live. Hopefully everything's sounding okay. If at any point, there's an issue with audio or anything like that, just drop it in the chat and we'll go ahead and adjust that. First time streaming here in a long time, so had to make sure everything was sounding good. We are going to be pretty much going to be setting up Proxmox or EVNG, on Proxmox today. And so here in a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll go ahead and get going on, installing from the ISO. I'll show you where to grab it, show you what version I'm running. There was some changes to, in general, to the EVNG software recently, and I've been running an old version. So I want to go ahead and make that adjustment, rebuild my home lab, and kind of show you the process as I go. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Hopefully everything's still, yep, there we go. All right, just checking the levels. And we are looking pretty good here. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and do here is bring up my Proxmox. Go ahead and head out the web browser for that. Go ahead and get logged in here. Okay, I'm running Proxmox 8.3.1. I just haven't updated this in a while. I'm sure there's a more up-to-date version. Let's head over to evng.net, and we can check out the download section. Well, first let's go over here. If you scroll down, you'll see that looks like this version is the most up-to-date one. I went ahead and pre-downloaded an ISO the other day, but they just keep pushing updates and bug fixes. Let's go ahead and check out the release notes. So I've got 6408 preloaded. We'll just go ahead and download this one. Let's get that going right now, just in case. It shouldn't take too long, but we're going to go ahead and click on... Looks like they updated the release notes. I'm not seeing the ISO. We might just go ahead with 6408, but nevertheless, release 6.4 just came out September of this year, earlier in the month, not that long ago. And prior to that, the latest update was 2024. I've been running a older community version release. We can show you what I'm running here. Let's do it this way. Okay. I thought I had that right. If we go ahead and copy that. All right, so I'm running 50119 community. What I wanted to do was upgrade, install fresh, migrate over any. I don't have a ton of labs in this community version, but you're only allowed really one topology. But I'm going to go ahead and migrate over like my custom icons and my images, and I'll show you that process too once we get going here. Yeah, for some reason I'm not seeing the upgrade or the download here for the .10, so we'll just deal with that later. We'll still run as planned with 6408. And again, I've got that preloaded in here. So when I go to my data center here in Proxmox and scroll down to, hold on one second. I'm in the wrong spot. Storage, that's what I'm looking for. And this one is ISO images. Bear with me here. Proxmox, not my strongest. I just use it to get the job done. Should be able to see my images here somewhere, but I already uploaded it earlier, so I'm not too worried about it if we don't see it. That's okay. We'll just go ahead and set this up. So we'll go to create VM. Proxmox, we're going to give it a different node ID of just, I don't know, 108 is open. This will be Eve NG Pro 6.4. Okay, and we'll go over to our OS here and we'll go to storage. I'm sorry, ISO. Like I said, I've already got it in here. 64808. Click on that one. And should be able to just leave this alone. System we'll leave alone for now. Head over to disks. Good here. I'm gonna leave that alone. Actually, we'll adjust the size to like around 300 gig. Should be good. CPU. I'm gonna really crank this up. We're gonna go ahead with like, I don't know, go like 32 cores. And then we'll leave these alone for now. Memory, we're gonna definitely crank that up. We'll do like, what do we want to do here? 100,000 megabytes, so 100 gigs. Go to next. We definitely want a Ethernet. We want, turn the firewall off. I'm not going to do a VLAN tag. This should be good. And we'll go ahead and start after created. Actually, we'll hold off because I want to compare some settings here. So if I go to my current setup here, and then go to hardware, see what we got going on. So a quick comparison just to see, kind of how everything's looking here. So I might switch out to the VMX Net 3. This is probably overkill for what I'm doing. I can always adjust that on the fly. There's something specific here that I am looking for. KVM hardware virtualization, probably. This comes with a alleged Proxmox support. I'm not sure what exactly is different in 6.4 to give that Proxmox support. I've always been able to run Eve on Proxmox. There's a few tuning settings to tune, but Looks like that's on. So I'm not seeing really a lot of difference. I just want to make sure this goes relatively smooth. So, all right, it should be good. And again, oh, we didn't do that right at all. Hold on. Okay, that's good for now. We will go ahead and switch this up and go to VMX3 and processors. I think that's where the setting that I need to tweak is. So if I go here, click on the processors, let's take a look what I did here. No, that's all defaults. All right, we should be good then. Should be good. All right, let's go ahead and fire it up. And we'll grab a console. Go ahead and install the Pro server. I'm not going to do any satellites. I do have another box on the floor over here that I may turn into a satellite eventually. It's beefy as well, but right now it's kind of just sitting around doing nothing. So, all right. So, while this is firing up, let me go ahead and make a tweak to the stream because we should have some background music. There we go. Hey, dang it, Scooter. EVNG is a virtualization software for building out like virtualized networks, or even, you know, to some degree, like servers and other types of things. Once it's, so I've got this right here, we can log in and I'll kind of show you what I use it for. I'm a network engineer, so I use it for building out topologies, virtualized topologies, right? So I have different devices that I can access in here. Some Cisco devices. We've got a Nexus. We've got some older Cisco images. Extreme. These are all older pieces of software. I mean, I'm sorry, I said it all wrong. these are all you know, virtualized devices, right? So the quickest one that'll boot, I'll show you just real quick. You can put them in, you can connect all the links, you can build like your network topology design, and then you can go into the device and actually do those configurations on it and verify your work. So, oh, hang on. But yeah, so I need to fix something here before this will launch. I'm on a new system here. So we're gonna need the Linux client side pack. We go to releases and we can go to the source code, download that zip. It should be what we need. And then we'll go ahead and extract here. And that's cool. So we'll go ahead and open this in a terminal. Best way to do it, just go right to the terminal. So I'll go over to my terminal and go into the Eve integration, and then we can run that install.sh. For good measure, we'll just go ahead and chmod u plus x. Sorry, u. So we're just giving it an execute permission, just for good measure, so that should already be on there, but then we can go ahead and run the installer. The client-side pack is needed to be able to like open up your PuTTY or whatever terminal emulator or VNC client you're using. Allows you to get into those devices. I should have had that set up already, but I did not. I usually use a different system, but today we're using a new Linux distribution I'm running here in the home office. Let me get my fingerprint on this. And we'll go ahead. So this should take care of our client-side pack stuff. Yeah. Yes. If you're running on Windows, you would want to download the Windows client-side pack. This is separate from the EVNG installation as a whole. So, yeah, you're going to want to get that, but that'll allow you to click in and launch the right extensions to get into your devices here. Okay, that should be good. It's installed. Let's try it again. There we go. So now I'm in there. It's using the terminal instead of like PuTTY or whatever. That's totally fine for what we're doing today. But I'm inside that device now. This is just a virtual PC, so it's really just used for connectivity. So it lets you get in there. Yeah, you can definitely... so check it out. I mean, it's really nice. I use it to proof out actual builds and verify commands and things for work and for learning education. The community version is free, so you can actually download that. You can spin it up. I'm using a separate like actual Proxmox server that's like a Dell server that sits in my basement, but you could install it on a VM on your laptop, or you could install it on a separate device. There's different ways to install it. There's a lot of documentation as well, like on those different install methods. If you've ever heard of like Cisco Viral or Cisco CML is what it's called now, it's very similar. It doesn't come with the images though, so that's the only thing, and I can't really provide those because of legal reasons, but you can obtain them and import them in. I'll show you how to import everything in, get them working, from ground zero. So I'm going to kick this off. So you can see this is actually like an Ubuntu. EVNG runs on Ubuntu. Once it's up and running, you don't interact with like the Linux environment at all. You're just going to be using the web UI, but unless you're doing some stuff that we're going to do, like migrating files and things like that. But this is just going to kick off the install, and I want to get that going here while we talk about some things. So close that out. So if you go to documentation, there's different cookbooks here, and then there's a lot of how-tos and like how to do imaging, and there's a lot of good stuff here. So if you look at, you can do a virtual machine install, you could do a bare metal install, you could do cloud installation. I've done both of these. I'm going to plug this just shamelessly here. If you go to torstechtalk.com and you go to type in EVNG in the search, I've got a couple of blog articles for some of the older versions that show you how to do like a bare metal install. Take it with a grain of salt because these are a little older, but it does kind of run through, give you an expectation of what that's going to look like if you were to do bare metal. And then, in this case, bare metal, I take the ISO and I basically put it on a USB drive using Etcher, and then I install like the corresponding Ubuntu version, which is at the top of the article. So I install an Ubuntu server headless, just CLI based, and then this article kind of shows you how to go ahead and install Ubuntu and then build EVNG manually on top of it. You really don't need to do like this manual install anymore. There's a lot more involved, but you can head over and go to download, get the community version, which is what I'm running here. The Pro version lets you have like multiple topologies. This only lets you have one topology at a time, but differences, right? And then you don't have to pay for it. So I'm gonna do the Pro version and get that going and updated, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today. I haven't used EVNG Pro in a long time, so kind of looking forward to it. So yeah, there we go with that. Let me see what's going on with this. Seems like my background music. No, it's still playing. I don't know what happened. Now let me know if anything audio gets a little wonky here, audio-wise. Sorry, we're gonna actually want that back. So this is still installing. Shouldn't take super long. We're just gonna have to wait for it here. You know, in the meantime, we can. If we go to I actually run. The nice thing about Proxmox with the community version is you can run multiple instances of Eve separately and have different topologies that way. It's kind of a little workaround. So like if I go in here, I actually do have let me just remove some stuff here. I actually do have like a separate topology here. And like these are Cisco switches, so we can go ahead and, while we wait for the install, we can go ahead and boot one up and I can show you some more stuff here. Alrighty. Takes a minute or two to boot. So if we click on switch, you can see that's going to boot up. And it should start spitting out its boot cycle information here. You can see that right here. So this is a Cisco, I can move this out of the way. Transparency is on there, so it might be a little hard to see, but there we go. Yeah, Cisco iOS. This is a little older, running version 15.2. I do have one that's a little bit more updated with iOS 17. They take longer to boot, so I didn't choose that one, but that's probably this one here. But this boots up relatively quick, so we can actually see, you know, how it works while we monitor this. I was gonna make this in as a video, but I haven't streamed in a while, and I wanted to get the studio set back up and get everything kind of tuned to do some more regular streams. So I figured out I'll stream this one out, install everything, and that way if there's any like issues or snags I run into, you can see how I fix them, and this will live as like a video on demand, you know, on the channel for a resource to get this software running on Proxmox. Should be able to take the ISO out now. So we've got the console. It looks like it's booting up. Need to look up a piece of software here while that boots, because we're going to need something to kind of move some files. That might be viable SSH file system. I don't want something I have to configure a whole lot. Hold up, let's go back. So I'm going to use SCP protocol, which runs over SSH and lets you kind of push and pull files to these devices, because we're going to need to move some images onto the server and things like that once it's booted up here. So on Windows, I just use WinSCP. Nice free GUI based software, but this might work. So we'll just use File Manager, then it looks like. We'll give that a whirl. Again, I'm running a new Linux distro here. So we should be able to just connect to the server this way and push and pull our files. This switch should be booted up now. so you can actually see. If I go ahead and run some commands, you can see the interfaces. It usually settles down after it sits and idles for a little bit, so that's why it doesn't. Looks like a little laggy, but you know, home lab is home lab. It's better than nothing, right? It's not always perfect. So we can do like show run. You can see there should be some config on here. It looks like there's not, but it looks like it actually got zeroed out just fine. So that switches on the old EVE-NG community. The new EVE-NG Pro is still going through its install, finishing up that installation. Once you get Ubuntu installed, like again, just for the people who are just popping in, we're using the new EVE-NG 6408 Professional, and we're installing that on Proxmox. It's currently installing. We did it from ISO, so Ubuntu had to get installed first, and then EVE-NG automatically installs itself once it boots up for the first time. So that's what's going on here. And while we're waiting, we're just kind of looking at some EVE-NG community stuff. Ultimately, we're going to move all these images and everything over that I have. So working on that as we go. Let's go ahead and test this, because I'm on Linux right now, and supposedly you can just connect to your server this way. And we're probably going to want to, like, I don't know if it's going to take this DNS name like that. If anyone is good with Linux, give me a secure copy protocol SCP alternative, like WinSCP for Linux. That'd be great. We can work around it regardless, but ultimately we'll just use the SCP commands, and you can kind of see how that works through the CLI. Worst come to worst. Elaine, hey. Hopefully I said your name right. Elaine Allen. Hello. Thanks for joining. How's it going? We are working on getting our EVE-NG Home Lab upgraded to Eve Pro 6.4, the newest release. We're running a really old, like, version 5 community. It's been working fine, but I'd like, figured I'd take the time and go ahead and get this all upgraded, and everyone can see live how kind of it goes. Hey, appreciate you. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and send one over, I was gonna actually buy one. Because I just love the software. It's worth every penny. But I wouldn't complain. Appreciate you hopping in too. I know you guys are probably busy with a lot of stuff, but one thing I was wondering too is I see like there's the release 64010 that just hit. I'm doing 6408 right now, and I'll just like upgrade it through apt upgrade later. But I didn't see, maybe I just overlooked it, but I didn't see like the download for that. So when I look here, for whatever reason, or maybe that's coming tomorrow. Looking, yeah, 627. Okay, answer my own question. Nice. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that right now. Hopefully the audio's okay. I know I got some background music. If it gets too obstructive or too loud, just go ahead and throw it in the chat. I'll make the tweaks on the fly. Haven't really streamed in a while, so I'm trying to get all the stuff right. All the different things here. If you're curious, I'm using OBS Studio. running that on a separate machine, just using like a capture card to grab the video of my Linux box over here that we're actually screen sharing. Cool. So we just gotta wait her out. It shouldn't take much longer. And then in the meantime, I'll try to figure out what I'm going to use to copy my files off of my community version and get those pulled. We can work on that in the meantime. Let me close this article. I'm going to stop this. And we'll probably just, we'll do this. This is what we will do. This is what we'll do. Go and close this dashboard just to hide anything. Give me the commands for scp copy Linux. We'll cheat a little bit. I usually don't use the commands that often, so don't have them memorized. But we'll just use the terminal to copy our files. Give that a whirl. So if I ping over to my EVENG2 community box and grab the IP, then we can give this a whirl. Oh, that's gonna, I guess we'll do a whole directory. We'll copy a directory. That's what we'll do. Because I don't want to just grab individual files. Let's go over to the console on this box. Sorry, that's going to be root. Password game. Let's see if I got, there we go. Got it right. So it should be the first one we're going to want is this folder. Yep, that's got everything I want. So if we recursively copy that folder, we should be in business. So got a lot of windows open here. Let's move some stuff around. Go there and grab that terminal. Go ahead and build this command. So we'll do scp-r. Let's go into documents and then make a new directory. Backup. And then we'll do scp-r. We'll just use the dot for here, and it should be root at 192.168.18.47, and then the path will be add-ons key. If I can type, that'd be great. Let's just verify it. Okay, that should be good. Okay, let's try it. I mean, see how that goes. Unexpected file name. Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought it said my folder. Gotta take the chat GPT stuff with a grain of salt here. Oh, typos. That's the joy of doing it live. We just work through it. Okay. Which I think is kind of fun, actually. Personally. So that didn't do anything. Let's look and see how this is going. Okay, we got the login. It's still doing some stuff. Let's just give it another minute or two. Source target, yeah. And then maybe I just need that -R. Sweet. I had it backwards. Cool. Appreciate that. All right. Let's let that run for a little bit. And then see where we're at here. Only thing is, let me see. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but oh, it is. Is it gonna keep? Okay, cool. It's gonna keep the folder structure that I want. That's what I want. Cool. Let that run. Do its thing. Let's see what we want to hear for some background. Cool. So we got our files copying. We've got our Eve installing. So won't be long. Can actually power down probably this one. Not doing anything with that. Copying from this one, so it's pretty safe to power this one down. It's literally a clone anyway, so shut that down. Yeah, it's a different IP.8. Okay, cool. Shut that down. The other thing I want to probably get copying, I wonder if I could just do that in a separate window. I don't, again, no real topologies because I was using community. There's nothing on there I really care about anyway, except the images, and then I think I have some custom icons. I definitely do. We'll just rip this whole directory as well for the time being. We should just be able to do it this way. Good right there. Let's go ahead and let's create a new folder. Icons. And then we can do SB dash R. Double check our syntax. HTML, images, icons, fix our typos. Oh, our folder. The icons. We'll let those rip too. And main thing is getting some of this imported, depending on how long these file transfers take. I'm not worried if I get them all on the stream. Probably just cherry pick one and show how that migration works. Just basically plug it. Should just be plug and play unless something changed in the new version, but I'm guessing not. Let's run over to my DHCP server. And then we can go to these times. It's probably an easier way to do it. So if we go to I'm not sure if this is ready. So I'm misremembering here. I guess was the, I thought the password was, yeah, root Eve, that's what I thought. So it must not be ready because it's not letting me log in with that password. It hasn't done the full reboot with the splash screen either, so I should just leave it alone probably. Hey, look at that, speakers double. I think I know what happened. Did this get an IP address? So it says no suitable interface found. Might have been something in my actual config here. That's what I was looking for anyway. For this was the Mac. Looks like it didn't. So I do see that, but it also doesn't see a network interface. And previously, running the same setup, the bridge, and then VMware VMX Net 3, and that seems to work fine. But then when I try, should just be root and Eve, and it rejects it. Or maybe it's not going, I don't know. Yeah, see, it just doesn't let me. Oh, maybe it also to neither VTXX. Let me see what I can do here. I'm gonna check a few settings. So I know there was something I definitely had to tweak beforehand, and maybe I should have documented it when I first set these up, but for the virtualization. But what we could try to do yeah, that looks good. No caps. I think it's something on my end, like with the Proxmox settings, potentially. Usually ends up when something doesn't work. Usually it's something I did or didn't do. I mean, it's the same thing, but we shall see. That's why we do these things kind of live, so we can work on them. I'm gonna stop this, and then I changed this, so gotcha. Well, we can just kick that install off again. Might be the best bet. I think it was set on. I mean, this shouldn't really matter. I mean, I know that works previously. So let's do this. Still got the ISO mounted. Start it. Well, let it do its thing. Try one more time here. Here we go. Nope. We'll just probably kick it off again. Actually, I'll go ahead and while that's stopping, go ahead and run through it one more time. I don't know if I need to change this. I mean, there's really no options anyway. So we'll leave that alone. Okay, so let's run through that. I mean, this is the best, closest option I think I have to what? Linux version 6. Okay, that's good. This is a little bit older of a server. It does have SSD. So make sure we pick the right stuff for that. It has 2 Xenon CPUs. I don't think I need to do the emulation. I've never had to use anything other than like the defaults on here, so I'm kind of looking at these to see if there's anything else that needs to be tweaked. As far as I usually do 1 socket, but we can do 2. 24 cores. Let's do like 20. Probably gonna leave this alone, just looking. That's what I was missing from before. Appreciate that tip. So I know I had to do something before with the community, the same for Proxmox, and I think that's what it was. I just couldn't remember. In that case, I'll probably just leave it like how it was. And so next, queue new agent. Okay, those are the settings that looks like I was missing. And then host. And for network, I think I'll leave it default this time. So let's review. I know I can change the network card later, but just gonna need it for the install. So usually I use VMX-Net 3. Just checking our stuff over here. It's not too bad. a rip. Yeah, so I'm running community 5. So it's been a little while since I actually did this install. It's been running great on that version, and honestly, depending on what my projects and stuff, sometimes I use it, sometimes I use some of the gear. I've got some gear behind me, got some gear downstairs, so I haven't ran through this install process in a little while. But with the video and working through it live, I can create what I plan to create is an updated article. I like to, a lot of these are already, obviously in the cookbook and stuff like that, but I like to create these articles, and I use them as my own reference and stuff too. So I've got some older ones that just need to be removed, and I want to create a new one for 5.x. So I'll use the video and steps that we walk through to do that. Let me go ahead and open up this folder. And take a quick look at some of those icons, because I don't want to import all of them, really. I just was looking for the go here. Maybe I don't actually have those icons, so it might not matter. No, I don't. It might have been on the other box, so we're not gonna worry about that. I did have some icons in there at one point, but yeah, we're good. So we don't need to worry about that. Cool. Just move the images over once it's booted. We'll let it run. I'm not sure why that's glitching. I'll leave it alone. This is fine. Just at the mercy of the installation. I'm trying to think here. So we've got our stuff here. So we just need to wait it out. I may take like want to at least see it reboot for the first time. Then I'll probably take 5, step away. But we just need to let this run here for a few. Curiosity's sake. just really going to use DHCP at the moment. I'll have that noted down. And for fun, since we're waiting, not the best environment for a rack, but there it is. Don't mind the mess. I live in a very old house, so right now it's just been sitting down there for a couple of years. It's been fine, but get the dust off it periodically. But other than that, that's what we're working with. It's an old Dell. I think it's an R720, and it's just got 3 SSDs in it, so it could be a little slow on the slow side with certain things, but it gets the job done generally. And so I got the camera down there, but I also have, just for fun, I've got, since we're waiting, on a new tab, I'll pull this out. So I can kind of watch what's going on here. I can do this over here. I've also got a kind of a sensor, power sensor on it. Because I don't run this server all the time. So, just chugging along right now, but I can turn it on and off remotely. Could use the iDRAC, but I just like to cut the power altogether when I'm not using it. So it's my fun little setup there for the server. Thing I can do here, let's go to my clients. Can't remember the iDRAC IP. I want to pull that. Research Dell. Oh yeah, maybe that's it. Still running. Yeah, maybe I should just do a fresh install of Proxmox too at this point, but some upgrades I probably do. Okay, so that's rebooted. First reboot. We'll get this right. What I wanted to do here was check So definitely older. Well, probably the whole thing, even the RAID controller. Okay. Jumping around a lot. Second stage install in process. All right, let's let that run. I'm going to leave this on screen. I'm going to step away for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, take care of something, and be right back. Since we're just waiting on the Eve 6.4 install here. Looks like my camera went out anyway, so I'll fix that and I'll be right back. for anyone stepping in. We are just allowing the install to run, and in the meantime, I'm just troubleshooting my camera. I ended up turning it off because it overheated, but may turn it on, may not, depending. It's a new camera, so I realized the one thing I was missing for this camera to be used for streaming was a power pack. So I have a few spare batteries, but we'll get that back online here shortly. went ahead and switched out to a different camera here. It's my backup. Mainly because my DSLR battery died. Gonna have to order a power pack for that. Take a look at my transfers. Might be able to cancel this and shut that other older Eve down. Oh, some of these started. These shouldn't be running. That's part of the problem. Just killing these other VMs that really shouldn't be running. Because I thought I went in here prior to the stream and shut these down. It's nothing I'm using at the moment, at least. They might be set to... they're probably set up to start up on boot. And that's probably why they're running, but... This one I'm transferring from, so I'll leave it for now, but maybe that'll help speed this along. For anyone who is out there watching, you may see definitely different install times. Mine setup's a bit older, it's running a bit slower. Plus I had those VMs running, so mileage may vary. So looks like we're coming up on that reboot. We got our splash screen. It's exciting. So we got our login, and we'll just work through the setup here. Should be good. We can do static later. I think I'm going to leave it for DHCP at the moment. Or you know what? Actually, I know of an IP. We'll go ahead and do that. Direct connection. Yeah, we're getting there. Only thing it just didn't. Oh, that's fine. Looks like it did get an address. Okay, we're good. So it's .61. Again, we have our new UI. Very nice. Okay. So now we can start getting into some of this. We'll go ahead and so we're one patch kind of lower. So we'll go ahead and update. I don't want to use a console anymore, so we'll go ahead and SSH in. And we'll just do an apt update and app upgrade before we really get into anything here. Get those final updates. In the meantime, while that's running, take a look at what did transfer. So, pretty sure I saw these completed. Let me scroll back up. That one definitely completed. Okay. Perfect. So once we get these final updates, we'll go ahead and copy just one image over for this stream. Get it in the right folder. And then we'll kind of take a look at some of the features. I'm excited to check out, what's new in this release here. Now, while this while this runs here, let's go over to the release notes and we'll start taking a look at. I've already reviewed some of them, but let's take a look at what we can see as new here. Is that on my end? What's going on here? Oh, well, that's fun. Probably network issue. Huh, let's take a look. So got my IP. Yeah, it looks like maybe my network on this machine dropped. Stream still is up, so it's a local issue. Says I'm connected. Oops. But there's definitely an issue, so that's interesting. Just disconnect and reconnect to see what that does here. This machine's running Wi-Fi because it doesn't have it's a laptop. It doesn't have a network Ethernet card in it, funny enough. But it looks like there is an issue with the Wi-Fi. Ethernet's running strong because the stream's still up, so that's good. Not really a big deal. Might be, but something always goes wrong here. Let's see. We can jump on this one. See if that fixes the issue. Yeah, it looks like this is just related to this computer. So in the office here, I've got Mac Mini that is running all the streaming stuff. So that's hardwired, and that I have a switch up here that goes down via multi-mode fiber to the basement, connects to the main rack. So that's good. It looks like just a Wi-Fi. Like for some reason, even my phone's off, disconnected off the Wi-Fi right now. So bad timing, but see if it fixes itself here in a minute. Otherwise, I'll jump in the Rocky dashboard on the other computer and just take a look, see what's going on. Because we're gonna need that network to finish up what we're doing with the upgrade. Just glad that my internet's not out because the power went out earlier today. I live in a more rural area in the country, so we do have these issues from time to time. But I have fiber to the home, so internet speeds are great, but I just want to check my access point, see if something happened to it, or if this is a different issue. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, at least I know. The AP is showing offline, so it's broadcasting, but for some reason it got knocked offline. So I might just run down and reboot it. So in the meantime, because we don't have access to this at this point, it's just, I mean, because for a second there we did have at least local. If I just had local network and no internet, that would be good enough for the moment, but it's weird. Let me run down and check that out. I'll be right back. Alright. Just a quick reboot of the AP. Looks like for some reason it stalled out on me. It doesn't usually happen. It's weird. Of course it would happen when I want to stream though. I'm going to finish up this install and keep it rolling. It looks like this did complete in the meantime. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. We'll just let this one run, and then we'll have the new version, and we'll be able to get in there and take a tour. Get our license squared away and go from there. It looks like it's moving along just fine. Let's take a look at the AP and see. Not sure why it would just stop working. I mean, it's Meraki, but unless it tried to firmware upgrade, which shouldn't be during these hours. Something definitely happened. But I usually just work on Wi-Fi during the week and don't really have any problems. It's a 9164, not a 66. Either way. Weird. Those are all cameras and IoT and power sensors and different things. Sometimes don't play nice. Okay, well, it's fine now. For now. I gotta get a USB to Ethernet dongle because I like everything in the office to be hardwired. I just don't want to rely on Wi-Fi, but don't have it yet. This laptop. Actually just set this laptop with Zorin OS. It's based on Ubuntu. That's what this is that we're running here. I set it up last night, so it's not my normal machine, but it's one I want to start using more going forward. 98% here, so let that ride. So you can see here it's setting up the 640-10, so that's good. That's what we want to see. Almost there. Looks like it's pretty much good to go. Still says progress 99%, but we have our console. Go native. Maybe I want to check out what that looks like, so we'll go console for the moment. we're in. I gotta say, I gotta go back. I just love the animation and just the whole new look in general. Let's get into it. Okay. So just take a quick peek around, and then we'll copy over an image, and then we'll get our license stuff squared away. I'll go ahead and do this first. Didn't mean to click on that. Hold on. That's what I want here. And we'll go ahead and I'm gonna have to send that to myself. It's not what I want to do at all. Need to get that off my clipboard. For the moment. The best bet. I just need to get that off this computer. I was trying to send it to myself, but it doesn't look like this is going to let me do that. So in the meantime, I'll just do a quick so I can get it on my other device. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so while we're working on that, so Creator Lab, our folders. We'll just take a quick tour here of what we have. I'm gonna go ahead and update my password. Change me. Love it. Update that. Okay, so we updated that info. Looking good. We're not doing anything with cluster. I think black and white's fine for the terminal. Okay, so we have version, we'll put an author. Nice. Dark mode, which you know I'm a fan of. Can't complain about that. And this is what I've been missing is being able to do the lab management, the lab tasks, all that good stuff. Okay, cool. Got our new IP in there. Okay, while that runs, we'll probably see if we can pull a lab as well, and then we'll get our license squared away. Let me get that going. We'll just switch off here for a second. Get the license squared away. Okay, so we got that squared away. Just jumped off the screen for a second there, but you can pretty much, once you get your license, a license upload, you drop it in and hit upload, and you should be good to go. Good to go. So we've got our details. We're good to go. That's going to take a little bit. Oh no, it's actually almost done. Cool. And then let me just log back in. So it looks good. It's in the right spot. So we just copied our lab over. I mean, not our lab, our one image over from our backup that we started. I'll have to do the rest a little bit later, but then we just put it in the correct location, which is opt Unet Lab add-ons QUEMU. And then if we look at that, we've got the stuff that we need, the QCOW2 file that we need. So as long as that one fully, I did kill the transfer earlier, so I think that one fully finished. We're gonna find out. We got our test lab. I'll try to pull a topology over as well from community, but those are all extreme images, so I'd have to copy those images also. We'll take a look at that. I'm already able to see, okay, this is definitely nice. Now if we look for our 9kV, we have our image. Let me make this full screen. Looking good. I usually crank this up a little bit more. This is probably fine. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how it runs. These icons, very nice. Go ahead and we'll leave that alone. What else do I want to tweak? Anything? I have had interesting results with this image depending on which network I use. I'll leave it on the default for now, but save that. We should have probably just put 2 in there. tweak some connections. One other thing I want to try is the Cloud Zero. I'm already loving this, the way that just the looks. We'll tweak some things as well, but see if this works out of the box here with the network. Try to get that so we could just get our terminals directed to them. And start these up. And then for fun, we'll draw out some stuff here. So go to custom shapes and we'll check out what we have. Rounded circle. I kind of like this rounded square. Bring that up. Interesting, it did throw an error. We might have to take a look at that here in a sec here. So this is valid. Doubt that's going to make any difference, but try the simple stuff first. Oh, it's not resolving DNS. Why is that? It's probably our issue. Peanut 0. Just set for DHCP. We build live, we troubleshoot live. All right. I mean, it's on the same network as my laptop. Both use DHCP. That's working. Let's try this first. So we will restart the license server. Yeah, it's not. So maybe I'll just adjust the interface to go static and manually set those DNS servers. For some reason, it's not resolving DNS. Let me look at my DHCP setup. I should be using, yeah, it should be good with this. 8s and 1s. That's our subnet here. Interesting. We'll get that going. And I think that's the best thing I can come up with, is just, at least at the moment. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Well, before we do that, let's go ahead and just check the resolve.conf. Yeah, it's not set. Okay, that'd be why. Let's just scroll through. Yeah. Okay, we're in business. We're good. We don't need to do that right now in that case. That's the old one. Let's close that out. Hold on. And we're in business. All right, so while that runs, I just want to see what we got going on here. This looks good. What do we have here? Transparency. Alright, these are gonna boot. Those are gonna take a minute, so let's customize some things here. Nice. I miss being able to customize. We'll just make some stuff up here. We'll say we're going to do some OSPF. We can move the positions. I like them personally, even when I draw my diagrams. I like to move them closer. Put right on it. Just how I like it. try with oblique lines. Yeah, definitely. I don't see what I'm doing wrong to find the right option for that. I will say it looks nice. And maybe one of these is like an active path and one's, well, this is management actually. So, but we can pretend. So this is maybe an active. Oh, you know what? We could do that. We could do it like this. So if we do it this way, delete these, and we're just going to switch the interface. I'll put it on the, well, we'll just leave it, it's fine. Put on interface 2. And we'll just rename this as like iNet for fun. We're gonna create a second one. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me finish what I was doing here. Looks like we have some new networks. Internal 1, 2, 3. Let's try this out. Losing my voice here. All right. We want to try to use this for like a management. So we'll just pick this generic switch icon. Ooh, look. Okay, so we can set VLAN IDs. Let's do this. Let's get our connections. Let me refresh my page. Yeah, it looked like it was duplicating that line there. No big deal, but so I just love these. I always have. Let's connect up to our management ports. What do these do? Oh, those are just to set colors. Is this transparency? I think that's what you're talking about. Could be wrong. That's really cool. Not sure why we're getting these duplicates, but let's do the same on this side. That's really cool. Those go away, so that's interesting. Okay. And then we'll just do flowchart, but I want these dash lines. This will be our management. Should have renamed that management. Typo, fix that typo, and change this one to dashed. Very nice. Now, one thing I saw I wanted to check out, and I'm just gonna check it out real quick. This one's not big enough to really take advantage, but we have the mini map, which is an awesome feature. Because some of these labs really do get big. Oops, I mean to do that. And then we can. So if I like move this, then we can scroll around. Let me move this down further. So as you build the large topologies, you can just move around instead of having to scroll and all that, which is excellent. I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that feature. That's super cool. All right, let's move it back up. I may have done too much. Use our mini map to find our stuff. And we'll just try to grab. We can grab that other icon later. Let's move this back up. It's really neat. So now we can kind of see in those larger topologies, you can easily scroll around. Let me turn the map off and I'll be able to grab that one. And we'll just move it back up. That should be good. Let's take a trip over to the system settings. Just make a few tweaks and enable the caching. So what that did, let's go back to our lab. Well, that first option, now we're just looking at what's available. And it's gonna default hide these, which is really what I want. So that's great. And then the cache should help with moving things around a little bit better. I need to go ahead and set a VLAN. I haven't used this internal. This is a new feature. So let's go ahead and manage. And then I think we got to turn on the smart bridge and we can set our VLANs. So this should work if we set our VLAN 10 here. Perfect. And then see where our switches are at. So let's do a time check. Okay, we got a little bit more time. I want to look at a few other things and then just see how this image is going to perform. I mean, it definitely booted faster than I was experiencing before, but I also shut down a lot of VMs. Hold on, I'm not getting my password stuff right. We just got to set a dummy password on here. Minimum 10 characters. My tried and true one here. And then I just hit 0 to skip and don't save the config because I don't really care about that password. We'll do the same on the next one. Zero, boom. Okay. So now we've got our, didn't hit enter, there we go. See if we have an issue with our nicks or not. I'll show down. They're not admin down. Oh, here we go. They're coming up now. Just being a little slow. This switch does use a lot of resources, this 9kV, so it takes a minute. Let's check our interfaces. So we're using 00, of course, for the management. I don't see that in the list, so. Got all that squared away. Let's see. We'll do a little bit more. I'm gonna have to jump off here in less than a half an hour, but we kind of achieved what we wanted to for the stream. So now we're just kind of playing at this point. We'll play around with some features, and then we'll wrap it up. And I'll do some more videos on this, you know, going forward as well. So. DHCP, so this should be able to get an IP. Oh, you know why? I mean, this is set a VLAN tag. Let's do our upstream. We're on gig 02, so let's do that. Uplink. We'll make it a routed port. Just test that cloud 0. So our cloud's working. We got our IP. cross these out because I don't think I named that right. Yeah, I didn't. I'll just name that one switch B. And what I want to try to do, we get a terminal. Let's exit out of here. And then if I log into this switch, I'm sorry, not root. It should be admin. I'm going to log into my physical switch here at some point when I get their password right. Let's go to our Rocky portal and just double check my IP address because, you know, sometimes hard to remember these little details for the home lab. I should make a documentation, a cheat sheet. Yeah, it's the right IP. So all that really means is I'm using the wrong username, most likely. Alright, so we have a 9300 right here. It's running 1715. It's a physical switch, 9300, 24 port. See what protocols we're running. I just had the BGP. Let's do section BGP because this isn't in use. It's idle. So what we can do is just hijack this process, re-IP. That's fine. Show IP in brief. Oh, you know what? We can't do that because this image is not going to support BGP. This is really more than what overkill for what we need. Anyway, so go to BGP. Yeah, it's not in this image, but we can do OSPF. Let's look at the route table here. We do have a static route to our gateway, default gateway. So I'll do router SPF1, area 0. Let's make sure we can ping that device. Hold on. Source. Hold on. So we're using 102. Oh, looks like this. I mean, I've had these switches crash before. I'm going to switch over to this one because I'm not going to do too much config. I just want to get some traffic going across the link and take a look at some of the capture and stuff like that. I might actually, let's see. I have to install Wireshark too for that. I have the Eve client pack installed, so I think that would take care of it. This is what we'll do this time. Switch port, mode, access. And just set an IP address. switches just got hung up on trying to DNS resolve my typo. So that's always a good time. See if I can ping my physical real switch, since we're bridging into, this says iNet, but we're just bridging into my physical network. I mean, we're not going to be able to hit that. Well, we should be able to, but source VLAN 10. Oh, you know, okay. Protocol down. It's not that. It is going to be the config on the interface. And it is created. It is trunking the native VLAN, and I can see the other switch through the management. We wouldn't be able to, we shouldn't be able to see any CDP upstream though. So if I do LLDP run, but our interface came up, so let's try our ping again. There we go. Now we're starting to get some pings. So that means we could peer our OSPF. This is all I want to do. So I can get some traffic flowing, get a default route, and then I'll get a ping going, and then we'll do some packet capturing. So we'll do router OSPF1. Sorry, IP routing. Router OSPF1. We'll do our router ID. It's going to be .65 is our source address. So we're just using that. And we'll set our network. Our wildcard. Our area. No, we don't need the interface command because I did the old style. So we got our neighbor. So that's good. Now we can see we're not getting the default route still, but we do have OSPF neighbor. And that is good. We actually grabbed two unintentionally because I have OSPF on this switch also. Not a big deal. Not a big deal for this particular experiment. So that's fine. We just need to get the default route. So we gotta go to our other physical switch. Again, this is real. This is not a EVE-NG virtualized switch. This is a real switch downstairs in the basement in my rack. We'll go router OSPF1. I think if we just do our default information originate, we already have our static route. And then we'll go back in there and we'll redistribute our static route. That should do the job. Now we have our route here. We're getting some other routes as well for different subnets. That's fine. Maybe it's not fine actually. Hold on. It locked up on me for some reason. We're getting this as well. So we need to log in. Let me just log into this device and stop the process on there, because I think I got a weird routing situation here. I do a lot of random experiments in my network, so sometimes bad stuff happens just because I'm always just doing whatever. Okay, so we don't need that at all. We can kill that process. That should drop our peer. I'm not sure why this is locked up. Maybe just hung for a little bit. Let's look at our routes. Okay, so that one is dropping. And then now we should be able to ping the internet just fine. Real internet from our switch through our bridge into our other network. And we'll just do a continuous ping. Of a lot because I want to just, you can go ahead and take a look here. So if we go to graphing, and our interface here, we can see our traffic. So you can see our, can tweak this a little bit. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. Wow, that's pretty neat. It's very nice. Let's make this bigger. We're pressing Shift or Control. Oh, nice. So we can focus on what's being sent, received. Okay, so that's our graphing. And then we're going to want to go ahead and go to our capture tool. And capture on that interface. So we're getting our Wireshark, and we can see our pings are coming from 6.5 and sourcing out to 1.1.1.1. If you want to filter, we can just filter ICMP, and we can see our ping. It's pretty neat. And we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon for today. We'll definitely get back out, do some more, but just take a quick break and I'll be right back. Actually, hold on. Okay, and we're back. Just had to take a quick break, check on the dog. I'm gonna have to wrap this one up here pretty soon. So we did some graphing, we built a sample topology. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of my images in here and copy over some of my labs, and then on the next video that I do, we'll go a little bit deeper for sure. I'll probably make some shorter form videos as well, just showing the different features. I think it'll be good for people to see and be fun for me. Some other nice things that I like you can do with this. Of course, the dark mode is nice. If we go ahead and export our config, you can see it's going to go in and grab the configuration. That's not going to work with this ping going though. Let's kill the ping. Now you can see it's automating a config scrape. Now if we go to our startup configs, now you can see our 9kV has our last built configuration. The IPs and the OSPF. That's nice. So next time I start it up, if I toggle this, leave this toggled on, it'll boot into this configuration, which is great. It's pretty neat. You can kind of see some of our configured nodes and our CPU usage. You can see this one is just fully utilized on RAM. These 9kVs are pretty hefty. But it's nice to be able to see what's going on at a glance. There's a lot more we could show, I think, for today, that we're going to wrap this one up. So just to recap, for anyone who might have just hopped in, today we set up, let's refresh here, the latest EVE-NG 64010 on the stream. Installed that on my Proxmox server, which you're seeing right here. So you can see we got this all fully installed. And then we took a tour of EVE-NG Pro and went ahead and built a sample lab. I've got some older stuff in here on EVE-NG 2, so again, I'm going to copy the rest of my images over, and then I'll be able to start making some additional content, because I have quite a few videos around Cisco that I want to make, and my old EVE-NG community was not doing it for me, and it worked pretty good. I'm not knocking the community at all, but it was outdated, you know, and I just wanted the features of Pro, and also I wanted to be able to update my my instance. So I figured, why not, now that we've got a new release this month, first in a year, let's go ahead and upgrade to the newest EVE-NG Pro. That's going to be it for me today. I appreciate everyone who stopped in and hung out and worked through it with me. And if you guys have any questions, you can, in the video description, there's a Discord. You can join the Discord and you can reach me there. Or you can just comment, on the video, of course, as well, and I'll get back to you. But we'll be back. We'll be doing more content, more videos, and yeah, if there's anything you want to see, let me know. I keep looking here, but the camera's here because I'm using my backup camera, and my main camera died during the stream. So yeah, thanks all. Y'all have a great day.